Okay, so today's assessment is about the article which I read, and that was Ambedkar NCRT textbook in the protest. That article was written by Harish S. Wankere, and he read it beautifully. I mean, he just directed that article so beautifully, and I have such a grasp about society or known more about it, by reading this article, especially. So I like to, let you know about my point that I listed it. Again, I'd like to mention that book, that is Ambedkar NCRT textbook. Actually, it's not a book, sorry. It's an article. So it's Ambedkar NCRT textbook in protest by Harish S. Wankere. Alright, so let's start with, my grasping point, which I had with the help of that article, which I got from that article or so on. So to start with, first point is politics is mostly emerged in each and every aspect of society. So, politics is a bigger thing that controls our society, the government, you see. Everywhere. It's controlling you. It's controlling all of us, indeed. That is what you all know. You all know. I mean, if you don't even know it, you just think about it. Our actions are controlled by the government policy, like controlling the monetary system or everything related to money, wealth, property. It's all about the governmental issue rather than personal issue. So yeah, it is. Now let's talk about caste system in it. How the government is controlling the caste system of society. Now, the low caste are easily flattered by a supreme power such as politicians, which present them and use them as a revolutionist. They are often made to feel as low-level images and are being used for the profits in politics. Now, the lower-level people, they are treated as some sort of used to do kind of thing, and there could be a revolutionist, and so that they have been produced as a low-level images in society. This is the social stratification. About stratification. There's a caste system in it. So because of that strata, be it with economy, be it with social state or something, the government is using the other powers, such as government power, institutional power, is using these sort of people, as politics for them, so that they can convince the other to elect them, to make them, give them a profit. Even the business making enterprises using them for their work and paying them less wage. So this is all going on in our society, and we need to wake up with that. I have to say that. So in the social system, the elite class wants the supremacy over the downtrodden masses, which are at majority, whereas these downtrodden masses wants equal social position. Now, there's a conflict, as Karl Marx suggested and listed, that there is a conflict between the downtrodden masses, that is a low class or something, and the clash between them with the upper class, upper sect, the elite class that we say. And these fight, are because downtrodden masses wants a social equal position, while the upper class, the majority of the upper sect, doesn't want it. They want their profit. This is why this happens, because they're enjoying their supremacy. This leads to more raging fight between these two classes, in which some other powers, that is political power, gets a profit by flattering both sects. They keep in check the economic position of the region, country, by creating a social strata. Now, the government use this lower sect, they convince that lower sect, we will give you something, and the upper sect will give you something. And it's like, one cat came in between those fight with the two monkeys, and the cat ate all the cake. This is the same concept that is used by the government. I hope you have read that story. That story is implied in this concept that this government is doing same with us. They're eating all of us, and we are remaining in the social strata. It says, however, a low stream profile of the suppressed class brings in more unity and emotional attachment amongst each other. Now, the low stream profile of something, they bring out more unity in them. They tend to get more indulged with the activities they are getting in, and they form some sort of emotional attachment with each other, and there is sort of unity amongst them. So the leaders, supporters emerge as a hero, and they protest with unity against the elite class and the domination over them. In some cases, they even act as radicals, attaining rights for themselves, winning over the upper caste. Then their unity formed fight. This is a social state. Every time it's continuing in a society. is that some sort of a low class comes out, fight for the justice, and they with the unity they won over the justice and they get the right. Then the upper caste comes out, wants to make a profit, again fight, and this constant fight goes on, and politic political economical position is kept on check all the time without affecting the social position in the society. This leads to chances of development and a lower sect emerging at a classes level to the upper sect. Right? Even if both sects are given equal rights and are treated equally, the difference are created in the form of other sect not involving economical right, that is the religion. Now if even the equal rights are given, the other problems such as the religious problem, the caste system, the caste problem comes in between. Thus the quarrel start for the power of existence and supremacy. Power of existence and supremacy, the quarrel start to do again. And again, some other powers makes the profit out of it by molding the commoners away from the economical structure. Now what the government do, they indulge every person in this common fight, fight for your economic position or something, and they just keep their eyes off it, to make the people, the commoners, to mold their minds off the, topic of economics, so that how we are using them, they should know it, because we are indulging them in fight, let them fight, we are using those sort of things, to make a profit out of it. The lower caste could never imagine a new way of thinking and acting. If they're let down by the political power, use them for profit, and the sect relying on them are led to illusion that they are fighting for their rights, but instead they fight for the political leader. Yes, the political power mainly use the lower sect because they keep them in an illusion that we are giving you a right, so fight for it. But some other power takes the profit, and they're never given. It's hardly a chance. There's an assessment taken about those things, and to the analysis, it was really fascinating to know that there are only lots and lots of profit that the government are making to that, bringing the unity in the commoners by election or something else even, and the commoners, the lower sect, only few people, few ratio are getting them, and even mass media is not intersecting it, because mass media is owned by the upper sect. It's a clash between the lower caste and the upper caste, in which upper caste is getting the help of government flattering the lower caste to fight, and eventually they are profiting the upper caste as well as the government, and lower caste is always being used, which are at majority. Let me tell you this thing. So this raging fight between the different sects will not lead to the development as topic. Is a question for supremacy and not a technological development. To this social scientists should know, look onto the matter in detail and act accordingly. Now this is my suggestion that you should act accordingly to that. This raging fight, the clash between the upper sect and the lower sect, is keeping the political power in check. You don't think about the technology or something. You are in a fight. You are in a constant fight. You're not ready to develop something. You're not ready to attain peace. You're not ready to change the world. But you're ready to conflict and fight for the existence and supremacy. Forget about existence. You are in supremacy. Everyone is in supremacy, and that's how the new concept was led out on the effect that is supremacy. The concept of getting ahead of each other, competition. This all leads to this. This all was the basis of these fights that are keeping place, and we are actually in the midst of the battlefield, and we are constantly fighting for the supremacy, which doesn't mean anything, because we are all gonna die because of the positive, and this is the interactionism happening throughout. Really sad. Even in the education field, the concept of getting more economical as well as political power is seized. Now let's talk about, at the end, I want to talk about education field as well. The concept of getting more economy as well as the political power is seized. You can't get education right. The religious institution very important to you that you have to believe in those systems which are emphasized, which are kept in check. You have to study this. You can't use any ideology in your subject, except that those subjects such as sociology, where you have to use the ideology. But the government are using the keeping on check for you. Not attaining knowledge, not giving you something, and clashing in between. You're getting used by the upper sect, but a few people, and majority of the people are being used. We are being slaves and we are being used. So that is it. This book, and that was so interesting, such an interesting article that I read about Ambedkar and Cherry textbook protest. And this was all my thoughts, what I think about this society. This doesn't relate anything to that Ambedkar incident that happened before. That Ambedkar incident basically was something like, Ambedkar, Dr. Ambedkar, was a, we all know that many Indians will know he's an Indian, and he was a great leader. He wrote the constitution, and he was a great hero of this lower sect. You see, but the incident happened that in the NCRT textbook, the his he was been portrayed as he's been killed to make such a faulty constitution, and the Raging Fight Act, because the lower sect has the hero in sort of Ambedkar, and they were against the upper sect, and usually government was leading them. So this was the main application for this concept which I have told you about this. I think you should read that more about Ambedkar and CRT textbook and protest incident. You can find it on internet or some articles. Basically, one I read was written by Harish S1 Kerry. That was brilliant. So that's all for now. Hope you like this thought. Keep blogging me and writing me. Let you know more about it. Till then, take care. Bye.